I'm Vinny Politan. Great to have you with us here on Closing Arguments. This hour, we're going to talk a lot about Amber Heard speaking out for the first time. We got a few little pieces of what she is saying. And it's fascinating, right? I mean, she went through the trial. She testified for days, cross-examination. We're going to talk about the social media reaction and all of that. But first, for those of you who don't recall what happened in Virginia, take a look.
Ms. Heard made some quite heinous and disturbing, brought these disturbing criminal acts against me that were not based in any species of truth, but never did I myself reach the point of striking Ms. Heard in any way, nor have I ever struck any woman.
What have you lost as a result of Ms. Heard making these allegations against you?
Nothing less than everything. It never had to go in this direction. And so I can't say that I'm embarrassed because I know that I'm doing the right thing.
I struggle to have the words. I struggle to find the words to describe how painful this is. This is horrible. This is the most painful and difficult thing I've ever gone through. You know, we were together for 5 years, almost 4.5, and it was a very violent, chaotic, at times very loving, emotional relationship. So as anyone can imagine, there was a lot going on, and unfortunately the violence became almost normal. Every single day I have to relive the trauma. My hands shake, I wake up screaming. I have to live with the trauma and the damage done to me. This is horrible. This is painful. And this is humiliating for any human being to go through. And perhaps it's easy to forget that I'm a human being. And even though Johnny promised that I deserve this and promised he'd do this, I don't deserve this. I want to move on.
As against Amber Heard, we, the jury, award compensatory damages in the amount of $10 million. As against Amber Heard, we, the jury, award punitive damages in the amount of $5 million. As against John C. Depp II, we, the jury, award compensatory damages in the amount of $2 million. As against John C. Depp II, we, the jury, award punitive damages in the amount of $0.
So now Amber Heard is speaking on camera for the first time since losing that defamation trial against her ex, Johnny Depp. She spoke to NBC's Savannah Guthrie, saying that she doesn't blame the jury for ruling against her, considering the testimony.
There's no polite way to say it. The jury looked at the evidence you presented. They listened to your testimony, and they did not believe you. They thought you were lying.
How could, I'll put it this way, how could they make a judgment? How could they not come to that conclusion? They had sat in those seats and heard over 3 weeks of nonstop, relentless testimony from paid employees, and towards the end of the trial, randos, as I say.
I think she's missing the boat here. I mean, and the question was, they didn't believe you. That's what Savannah asked. Court TV alum, Savannah Guthrie, by the way. They didn't believe her. And then she twisted it and turned it on like, well, why would they believe? I mean, there's just all these people that came in and testified. I mean, she testified for days, told her story. They didn't believe it. but she didn't address it. I want to get some reaction from our think tank tonight. Joining us in Englewood Cliffs, New Jersey, criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor Al Wunsch III. In Puerto Plata, in the Dominican Republic, criminal defense attorney and international man of mystery, Darnell Crosland is with us. And in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, family law attorney Jennifer Brandt. Great to see everyone. Al, what's going on here with Amber Heard? She does the interview, and you know, we haven't seen the whole thing yet. We're just releasing little pieces at a time, right? That's what they're doing. But she was asked, you know, why didn't they believe you? And again, she didn't really answer that question. She tried to blame it on, you know, all these paid witnesses of Johnny Depp's, people on his payroll. She testified for days, Al, for days. They didn't buy it.
True. But, Vin, she's getting publicity. She's getting a chance to talk. She's getting a chance to be seen. She's getting a chance to put her face in front of the camera. She's getting a chance to find other work. She's getting a chance to be able to work so that she can pay off this judgment against her. So how does she lose? She is back in front of the camera doing what she wants to do. She's giving her story. She's giving what happened. She's blaming social media. She's blaming this. She's blaming that. She's blaming everyone but herself. Okay, but the bottom line is, Vince, she's got the publicity she's craving. You know, the one thing about this story, though, that always was most tragic to me was that she didn't bring this suit. Okay, this was not her doing. She did not institute the suit. And I do think that the press has been kind of cruel that they don't point that out as much as they should. They just point out that she lost. But, you know, she did not need to be there. And, you know, now's her chance to kind of get out there and say, listen, you know what? Look, folks, it's done. I don't know why it happened the way it did. My life's been turned upside down. But you know what? You're not beating me, Johnny. I'm still here.
Yeah, but Darnell, you know, the question from my perspective was pretty simple, right? It was like, why didn't they believe you? And it had, again, she took no responsibility for it, just like her testimony. It's always somebody else. No responsibility for anything, including like, hey, well, I guess I just don't come across as a credible witness. You know, they didn't believe me. But again, she just spun it and turned it onto something nefarious, like a bunch of Johnny Depp's friends coming into court and committing perjury. That's basically what she said there, right? They're all paid. And by the way, when you do that, are you committing a defamation?
No. I mean, that's typically what lawyers do anyway. We challenge all expert witnesses.
But wait a minute. Amber Heard just said, it seems to me, that the witnesses for Johnny Depp who paraded in there on his payroll, all right, we can talk about the bodyguards, we could talk about the people who got free room and board, et cetera, including his sister, came in there and basically lied.
Yeah, she has a prerogative. She has to do that. That's what you do. You attack everyone who takes the stand.
So when you lose a defamation case, you start defaming people? Like, what is this? That's like losing a murder trial and killing people, right? I mean, it's the same. Why is she doing this?
Well, what she should have done, quite frankly, is to be straightforward with this jury and with the public from this point on. What she should have said was that this was her truth, that she believes that she had no choice but to tell her truth, that the case was brought against her. What I'm still wondering, as Al pointed out, they must have had a bunch of pretrial conferences leading up to this lawsuit. And in those pretrial conferences, the judge and the courts are giving you so many opportunities to try to settle this matter, to try to work it out. So she could have said, I'm going to retract my statement. She could have did a million things before we end up having to take it to a jury. So I think she doubled down on this. So to Al's point, even though she didn't bring the lawsuit, I think she certainly doubled down, because she could have probably agreed to retract the statements and met somewhere in the middle. And she didn't do that. And now she's doubling down again, saying that he was a better actor than her. He had better witnesses than she did. And so she needs to give it up.
Yeah, and it seems to me, Jennifer Brandt, Darnell just brought up another great point. He's a better actor than she made that statement as well. Well, if he's a better actor, are you saying that he was acting, that he was faking, that he was lying, that he really abused you? I mean, again, is there more defamation taking place? That's why I don't know. Every time she speaks, it's like if we take the jury's verdict for what it's worth, right? It's the jury's verdict. They said it didn't happen. They said you lied about it, and then the doubling down is, to me, is just the doubling down on defamation.
I don't know about that, Vinny. I don't agree with you there.
Wait. After you lose a After you lose a defamation case, are you allowed to repeat the defamatory allegations after you lose? Isn't that what that whole trial was about?
She believes her story. What is she going to say?
It doesn't matter what she believes, does it? It's what the jury said.
I didn't tell the truth. No, it doesn't. In her mind, she still feels that she told her truth. This is what she believes. Just because the jury made a decision, somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose. She lost. That doesn't mean that she says, oh, by the way, I just made this all up. I was lying the whole time.
No, you stop talking.
Vinny, what is she going to say? No, she has to talk. I agree with Al.
This is crazy. Is this Crazy Town? I feel like I'm in Crazy Town tonight. The whole trial. Wait.
She needs to rehabilitate her image. She needs to get out there. She needs work. She's not a civilian that's just going to go back and do their job. She's out in the public spotlight. She doesn't try to rehabilitate her image.
I fully appreciate that. I fully appreciate that.
What else would
I have
she
no
do?
problem with her working.
Oh, I wasn't being honest. I made this all up. She has to defend her position. And to Darnell's point, I don't think she could have settled this case because I think Johnny Depp had an axe to grind. He wanted to prove that she defamed him, and he wasn't going to just settle this because the statements were still out there, and he needed to clear his image. So I don't think as much as she may have wanted to settle, and who knows if she did or she didn't, I don't think that was going to be possible. I think Johnny said, look, I want to clear things up here. I want to get back to my work. I want to rehabilitate my image, and he did a very good job of doing that through this trial.
Right. Okay. Al, let me ask you, because I feel like I'm in Crazy Town here. And not because the guests are crazy, but because of the way this is playing out. Like, we keep talking about his truth and her truth. We had a trial. Doesn't the jury tell us the truth after a trial? Isn't that what a trial is? Like I always say, a search for the truth. They tell us at the end of the case. So if they tell us the truth is, Amber, you defamed Johnny Depp when you said he abused you. Shouldn't that keep her from repeating statements along those lines? Doesn't that prevent her from saying that, oh, Johnny Depp was acting on the witness stand, meaning he was lying and his friends were lying and I'm really a victim? Like, you're not entitled to your truth after the jury tells us what the truth is in a defamation case.
I gotta say something, Vinny. If you're talking about murder trials, somebody gets convicted of murder, right? They say they didn't do it. The jury finds that they convicted of the murder. How many people in jail say, oh, you know what, the jury found that I was guilty. I did murder that person. They're going to say, no, I never did it.
But this is a defamation case. It's not a, but it's a defamation. It's about what you're saying about someone else. That our law says that you're not allowed to defame people. So if the jury just found that you defamed someone, why is she allowed to go around, Al, and continue to make these statements?
Well, because, Vin, the case isn't over. She can appeal. Okay, and so if there is an appeal filed, and if she should tragically die, okay, then what happens with regards to the verdict? In a criminal case, it's wiped away. Then her conviction would be gone. Okay, it's not the same in a civil, but the point is that she still has the right to be saying that she feels the verdict was against the weight of the evidence.
But she's taking it beyond that. She's taking it beyond that. She's accusing people of lying on a witness stand.
But Vinny, just remember, there was a very, very wise man who once said, and his name was George Costanza, it's not a lie if you believe it.
But it is.
So
the jury just told it. What was the point of those 7 weeks of trial, Darnell? Darnell, if you could get me out of Crazy Town tonight, I'll appreciate it, Darnell.
I have a one-way ticket here on Crazy Town. The bottom line is this: the Johnny Depp character he played was more popular than the character she played. And the bottom line was, I don't care. He went up there, he put on his charm, he put on his 3 best characters, okay, and he won. That's what happened. If that was the real Johnny Depp, then the man is just bizarre. So,
But that's
Vinny, I gotta get you.
Get me out of crazy town here.
We're not in crazy town.
I'm taking you out of crazy town. So you're absolutely right. And I heard some of your earlier episodes where you kind of made up your own redefaming phraseology.
Redefamation. Yeah, it's a new tort.
Redefamation. Yes. And I feel that you are onto something, because the idea is if you communicate to 2 or more people to the detriment of someone else, a statement that's not true, then you're going to be liable for defamation. And it feels as though she's saying to 2 or more people every single day that Johnny Depp beat her, he abused her, and that's what you're saying. So I think you are right to feel that you're in crazy town. And some courts have gone as far as to enter a gag order or to say that you're going to be fined if you continue this behavior. So his lawyers might be right for making a motion at this point, saying that we want a motion to stop her from continuing to do this. That doesn't mean she can't appeal, but that's a legal argument. You got to stop talking. Just file your motions and argue what went wrong. So that's the best I can do to get you out of that town.
You're going to stay freedom of speech?
It's not.
No, but you.
Wait,
you're
defamation is not part of freedom of speech. It's called defamation for a reason. Al, okay.
It's definition.